Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Hello, everyone. You are here at the Intuitive Hour, Awaken Your Inner Voice, and I'm your host, Michelle Beltran. All right, we are in Psychic Development Training Mediumship 101 today, talking all about developing your mediumship skills using some various techniques and modalities. Okay, so first and foremost, what is a medium? There is a difference between a psychic and a medium, and we'll talk about that today. Mediums typically use their abilities, their senses, their intuitive gifts to detect and communicate with spirits on the other side. They do this for the purpose of conveying specifically targeted information to a specific living person. So it's spiritual or spirit interaction only. When you're thinking about psychic development, you can think of mediums as, I like to call them, spirit interactors, serving as live, human interactors for spirits existing on the astral plane. That means your loved ones. Mediums serve as receptives for multiple types of energy emanating from the spirit world and/or the universal matrix. A medium will seek out spirits on behalf of someone living who has made that request, and spirits seek out mediums in turn. They too want to come forward delivering their message or information to their living loved ones. Spirits from the other side might also seek out a medium in order to be revealed, to become materialized, or even influence a course of events. All right, so psychic or medium reading, what's the difference? So in a psychic reading, the intuitive generally works directly with spirit guides, as well as their own higher knowing or spirit guides to receive information. The readee in this session may receive guidance and advice regarding the past, present, or future. They might also receive information pertaining to health, career, finances, love, and relationship, as well as guidance for their own spiritual growth and advancement. In turn, in a medium reading, the intuitive will link directly with the spirit world and/or loved ones of the readee who have passed over, bringing any messages they have. In this kind of reading, you find answers you seek about the other side and your departed loved ones, what they're doing, how they are, messages they want to convey, perhaps what was left unsaid. These readings are a wonderful opportunity to understand and learn about the healing power of contact with the hereafter. Significant healing and emotional release and burden can happen after this kind of very powerful session. Through information received from spirit, you may also at times receive psychic information and guidance about your life. In a medium reading, however, the distinction is that the information is presented by spirit. Be mindful that all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. All right, looking at why our loved ones come to us in a medium reading. We talked about that just a little bit a few moments ago. Let's expand on that further. They come to us for many reasons. It may be simply to say hello, to guide us in our earthly issues and events, or to assist us in healing and closure of our grieving. I find that often Spirit has come to offer an apology. In addition to choosing when, where, and with whom they will send messages through, Spirit chooses why they come. It is our task then to listen with an open mind and really hear their messages. All right, psychic development as it relates to preparing for a medium or psychic reading. How do we do that? It's quite simple, actually. Just sit quietly for a few moments. This is not a difficult time. It's a gentle time, and it's an easy time. Tell the Spirit that you wish to contact, that you intend to communicate. Your intention here matters. They do already know, but tell them anyway. Be sure to recall and think about past memories. As you're ready to sit in a session and invite Spirit in, you're recalling of past times with them, traits they had, events or places that you traveled with them, even a particular smell or odor that you recall associated to them. Be in that space. Also, do your best to be expectation-free. Let what's going to come in. And remember to be in a joyful space as best that you can. This doesn't mean you aren't grieving or turning off your sadness. Grieving is healthy. But remember that Spirit is in a joyful place and a blissful place, for that matter. And that does not resonate with grief and sadness. Joy and grief are not on the same emotional energy pattern, if you will. So communication is difficult in that way. So do your best to celebrate their life. Be in a joyful space. Set your grieving aside for this interaction. Be certain and confident that your loved one has heard you. And finally, be sure you're in a quiet place for this session where you're uninterrupted. Having taken some time to quiet your mind, come to the present moment and be in tune with you first and foremost. Make an agreement that you'll come back to all of your life to-dos and ongoings at another time. Okay, evidential mediums, what are they? An evidential medium will provide absolute, actual facts about your loved one. It is less prone to symbolism, and you would receive in an evidential medium reading names and birth dates, specific and clear memories from your loved one on the other side through the medium. They will be factual things the medium could not possibly have known. Perhaps the medium tells you how they passed. Again, particular events or names or dates or activities. Very specific, clear, factual information. Oftentimes, the specific, clear, and detailed memories will present, going all the way back to childhood on occasion. The fact is, you will know, it is your loved one, that the evidential medium is connecting with, based upon those very clear and specific details and evidence presented. All right, so I want to hear from my loved one now, you're saying. Be mindful to be patient. They're going to come in on their time, not necessarily yours. Please understand that Spirit may take time to adjust to the other side, just like you. Think of it as that they are getting situated in a new home. They need time to adjust to their passing in the same way that you do. Giving them this time to settle in assists them and makes the transition easier. Simply tell the universe and/or Spirit that you are perfectly willing to wait for a time when they are ready to communicate. This most definitely helps them. They hear you. You may want to request they show you a symbol when they're ready to come through. Make an agreement, say it out loud, that they'll show you a symbol and they'll hear you. They must hear you. Also, remember that wanting to communicate with them too much, too soon, or too badly may hinder communication and the medium connection. Keep in mind that a medium reading does not take the place of your grieving. So be sure that you're in a clear mind space before they come and you intend to visit with them. And this segues into this question of how soon can I connect with my loved one? So spirits can communicate regardless of how long they have been on the other side. Some intuitives or mediums feel that 3 or 4 months must pass before a reading takes place. This is so that the medium reading does not take place of your grieving or inhibit that. That said, it is possible, and Spirit can communicate shortly after their passing. Every spirit is different. Some spirits do communicate a little bit different, and I would say even better than or more clear than others. But they all have the ability to connect with you regardless of the timing they have gone over. Meaning whether it's been very recent or several months or even years ago. You may also notice in a reading that loved ones present with many similar personality traits and or habits that they did or had while on earth in this physical body. Your medium or your intuitive you're working with will convey this if that's the case. So be mindful and aware of those personality traits or quirks before you step into a session. All right, language and medium readings. There is no language on the other side. We assume that as humans in a physical body, but Spirit communicates through energy and symbols, and facts and details, as we know, are provided. They communicate, though, from a higher vibration, and they understand, regardless of what language they spoke living on Earth, that language is merely a human concept and way of communicating. So what has Spirit transcended to? Where have they gone? what are they doing on the other side? I've learned that spirits most certainly have come to know a more enlightened state and are more spiritually advanced, having passed over to the other side. This is my experience in readings over the years. They have expanded spiritually indeed. However, they are not all-knowing. As mentioned a few moments ago, they often retain much of their personality or traits or quirks or characteristics that they had while on Earth in a medium session. Indeed, there's a new and profound level of awareness and spirituality to them, but they are quite similar to who we knew living. It is not uncommon during a reading for spirit to present at an age much younger than when we knew them as they passed. This is because we have the choice, having passed over, to appear however we desire. In addition, near the age of 30, for most spirits, this was often an optimal age they enjoyed. So many choose to revert back to appearing as they would at that time in their experience. So, as you are in a medium session and your loved one is described to you, remember how they were, what they looked like at a younger age, what they were doing, in order for you to identify them. All right, medium readings and time. Like language, there is no time on the other side, at least to the extent that we know it. However, in order to get some sort of glimpse of time, and to explain it to you today, it's my experience that readings with spirit often move at a faster pace than on Earth. They resonate in a very high vibration place. It feels fast and not slow. This is in part why we come to Earth, because the growth is so exponential. You might think of it like this. A blink of an eye, for those in the spirit world, is roughly about 8 months to you and I. Think about that for a moment. So, in this light, it is a gift to be here on Earth, as the growth is immense. All right, mediumship readings support us in a number of ways. There are a few more things I want to talk about here as we begin to wind down our episode today. Most specifically, what do our loved ones desire for us? So it's generally the intent of Spirit to bring the core of important challenges and issues to the forefront, to guide us. Sometimes they desire to do this right away. This is because of an intense hope and intention and expectation, even desire themselves to bring healing and growth to you still living. They realize the value of resolving issues and not leaving things unsettled before our own passing. Spirit also understands the importance of unconditional love and that we are all connected. Remember that your prayers for your loved ones go a long way. Pray for them. Include them in your prayer. They benefit from this deeply, and they hear you. Be mindful that while Spirit comes with wonderfully insightful and profound healing messages. They will never provide information to the extent that they interfere with your life lessons and/or spiritual growth you were meant to incur. Realize that in a medium reading, we want to not take the place, as I've said earlier today, of that grieving process. So as mentioned, some find that waiting 1 or 2 months after the loss of a loved one to schedule a session is best. Okay, medium readings and how you can connect with your loved one. The easiest way to do this is through your dreams. Dreams bring powerful spiritual messages. You'll want, before you go to bed, to tell your loved one and say it out loud. Tell them you desire to visit them. You would like to see them. Offering an invitation we don't often think of, but it helps. And an invitation is essentially all you need to do. When you least expect it, they will come to you. You will know you have had a visitation because your dream is especially vivid, full of deep gratitude and love. An honor that you have been blessed with this visit. You will not have had a visitation if you've had the dream of seeing your loved one standing outside in the backyard in the rain, for example. That is not a visitation. It will be full of love and, again, gratitude, not doldrum, low energy, fear, or dread. There is no mistaking your loved one has come when you have received the visitation. And again, very simply, send an invitation. Be mindful in your dream space of symbols you see, sounds you hear. Perhaps you smell or taste something. Use all of your senses. Sometimes spirit will come with song, or they'll tell you even one word that you hear as you wake. Pay most attention to that last dream before you wake as well. When you experience validation by a spirit while in a medium reading, it is enormously powerful to all who witness it. It not only provides validation of your ability to connect with the other side, but it's an indication that the work of mediumship is for you. It's further an expression of the depth of closeness that you have with your spirit, with your loved one on the other side. All right, everyone, we will bring this episode to a close. This has been Mediumship 101. If you have any remaining questions that have come to mind after our episode, please do reach out at mbeltran@michellebeltran.com. I always appreciate hearing from you. I look forward to meeting with you all here next week.
Thanks for listening to the Intuitive Hour with Michelle Beltran. If you like what you heard, please share our podcast with a friend. And be sure to visit michellebeltran.com to get Michelle's popular Develop Your Clairvoyance ebook.